Hey fellow Nevillers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sarah, otherwise known as Neville O'Clock, because any hour of the day is a fabulous time for Neville and his wonderful teachings. Today I've got my nose up in Persistent Assumption from 1968. There's some wonderful paragraphs in here, as you can guess, about persistent assumptions. One's about spirit, the spirit in us. As you know, Neville has given us everything we need. Lots of encouragement in this one, so that's what I'm going to share, fellow Nevillers. Let's dive in. Dive in. So, our description from Neville about the wonderful spirit we all have in us says, there is nothing God cannot do. Do not think that one who is fabulously rich has an influx of spirit which differs from yours. He is imagining wealth, either wittingly or unwittingly, but you can do it knowingly. Thank you, Neville. If he does not know what he is doing, he can lose his wealth and not know how to recover it. Thank you, Neville. I am asking you, regardless of your financial situation, to assume wealth knowingly. If tomorrow you would again return to your former state, bring wealth back by claiming, I am wealthy, for there is only one God. He who creates poverty also creates wealth, as there is no other creator. Find that paragraph really encouraging from Neville. Like he says, we do these things to ourselves either knowingly or unknowingly. And Neville, being the fabulous teacher that he is, he says do it knowingly. Okay, Neville, we will. Then we have a fabulous description of how the world is a play. He says the world is a play where divine imagination becomes human imagination by inserting himself into an olive skin, black skin, a white skin, a red skin. Although we appear to be different, we all will see God's only begotten Son, proving that there is only one God. The purpose behind the play is to expand imagination's creative power. Here we are fragmented, i.e. here in 3D on this earth, into numberless parts, destined to gather ourselves together into the one God, the one Father of all. I love how Neville shares how we are all one being. He litters it throughout his lectures. This one has just kind of smacked me a slightly different way this morning. I feel like sharing it with you, my lovelies. Here comes our lesson from Neville. Begin now to actively, constantly use your imagination, for as you prove its creative power on this level, you are awakening to a higher level and birth into the spirit world where you know yourself to be God. Prove to yourself that you are God by feeling your desire is now an accomplished fact. Listen to your friends talk about you. Are they rejoicing at your good fortune, or are they expressing envy? Imagine their words are true. Persist in imagining they are true. Continue to imagine your desire is already an accomplished fact. And when it is objectively realised, proof will be yours. Thank you, Neville. Think of something lovely you would like to give another. Then ask yourself, if you gave it to him and he wouldn't accept it, would you want to keep it for yourself? If, for instance, you gave a friend $1 million and he would not accept it, would you be willing to keep it? Would you? I think you would. I would. He says, I'm sure you would. Then imagine giving the money to him. Then give to others in the same way. You may not even have a bank account, but you can still give, because there is no one to give to but yourself. There is only God, whose name is I Am. So then we have another fabulous paragraph from Neville here about persistent assumption. He says, each one of us has a being within who is meditating us. The being in you and the being in all form the one perfect being who fell and fragmented himself. One day, everyone's living being will unite into the one God. I can't imagine that, but Neville tells us in many of his lectures to imagine that. So I'll be sharing that later, my lovelies. Then our question. Do you know what you would like to be? Dare to assume it for 1 week. Claim, I have assumed I am the one I want to be. I am still assuming I am, and I will continue to assume I am until that which I assumed is objectively realised. Realised. Fall asleep, assuming it is true, and let that living being in you give it life. There's a fabulous little exercise right there Neville's given us. Just continue believing you are the one you want to be. Keep doing that during the day. Neville says right here, do it for 1 week and fall asleep doing it for 1 week. Let's do that. But what I love about this lecture is Neville telling us, just keep doing it. Keep assuming you are the one you want to be. Do it many times during the day. Call your friends up in your imagination. I've done another video on that. I'll leave a lecture point down there. and a link up there when they fly past so that you can find that one too. Because all people in our world, i.e. up here in our consciousness, our imagination, because consciousness is the only reality, we can call every one of those people up in our world, in our imagination, our fabulous friends, the friends that love us, the acquaintances, the family members, anyone that you know and you can recall their face. Bring it up in your imagination and see how gloriously happy and fabulously wonderful they react to all your good news. Imagine that you're wealthy, healthy, free, in love, married, big mansion owner, whatever it is you want to be. As Neville says, be noble in your thoughts. Focus on the lovely. So I'm going to focus on being wealthy and free for a week. Fellow Neville, that's enough babbling from me. I appreciate your time and attention. If you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. If you found it useful, leave a comment and subscribe. Big fat kiss, because we're all about love up here, and I'll see you tomorrow with my excited Neville o'clock face. Bye.